Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to Real Bored episode number 2. I'm bored today. That's the whole point of this particular thing. I feel like right now we're currently looking at a situation where there's nothing going on to some extent. So I get bored. I want to talk about entertainment, but I don't really want to focus on anything too specific. So that's why I came up with this show yesterday. I know I just kind of went on yesterday about Raya and the Last Dragon, which I've watched now again like 2 more times. Good movie. But I want to talk about some other stuff. So let's take a look here what you guys are saying. Batman Superman says, hi from London. What's going on, man? How you doing? Goes on to say, we still don't have HBO Max in the UK, which actually isn't true. I went and looked that up while the intro was happening. I saw your particular little comment there. So what we have here, according to Games Radar, is saying that the Snyder Cut will be coming to the UK the same day as the US. I just don't know necessarily where it's going to be going, but it's going to be available worldwide. I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to purchase a copy of it or rent it somewhere in the UK, probably on various VOD services, as it says here. So I would check to see whether or not that's going to be something that's going to benefit you in the long, when it comes out here pretty soon. So there's that. But something to just kind of consider for the moment. All right. Garrick here says, rewatch Godzilla 2014. They didn't show the Godzilla fight until the last 30 minutes. Yeah, I know, man. It's establishing a very interesting, like that movie was boring to watch on the first time I saw it. But when I watched it again, it got better the more I watched it, because I was at that point, I knew what to expect. I knew that we would be coming into the whole thing with the ending. So I knew like the buildup. And that's why movies sometimes get better on a second viewing. You know, I think that's one of the problems with these movies these days, is that a lot of people have these expectations, so to speak, right? They have these expectations of things that they want or that they feel like they're entitled to. And the reality of it is they're not entitled to shit. All right. They're not entitled to shit. And actually, it's kind of, that's an interesting segue. I found this. Where did I find this here? Okay. Right. Let me bring this up here. So there is this particular post floating around on Twitter yesterday about someone who wasn't too pleased concerning WandaVision's season finale, which, this is from the Snyderverse, who I think follows me on Twitter, actually. And he says, no Doctor Strange, no Mephisto, no Quicksilver, no multiverse, no huge cameo, no aerospace engineer, no Magneto, no Reed Richards, no Grim Reaper, no Nightmare. But all of these were teased by the cast in interviews or the show. The weekly release did WandaVision a disservice in the end. And here's the reality of that. Wrong. You're wrong. It's not the show's fault, right? It's not the show's fault, Mercury, that you got your hopes up. The cast, even the Luke Skywalker thing, that was something that was inferred by the writer of the article. It wasn't even something that Lizzie Olsen said. It was inferred, and the media ran with it. You ran with it. I did this video the other day about expectation versus reality. And how the show was an unreliable narrator, and it had a lot to do with everything that's going on, with this particular comment here. Mercury's pissed off because he didn't get what he wanted. Man, I'm just saying, like, he's huge into the Snyderverse. Just wait till you realize how closely related beat points from Justice League and Justice League are going to be. That's going to be a big thing there. So I have to kind of laugh at that, because WandaVision in and of itself didn't, it did what it was supposed to do. It told you a story, a self-contained story that did have larger ramifications for the greater MCU as a whole. And a lot of people out there need to kind of get their panties untwisted, because you know what? Their disappointment is their disappointment. Their disappointment is them being upset. It's not the reality. It's that they didn't get what they wanted. They're like the kid on Christmas that opens up that last present and didn't get the toy that they desperately asked Santa for. So they're throwing a bit of a tantrum. And that's really what it boils down to here. It's simply that. Okay. Thomas V asks the question, Yo Jarbo, how you feel about Zack Snyder working with geeks and gamers? I feel overall it's a good thing, albeit their tangent hate for Disney is not a secret. I'll tell you this, man. I was actually, I didn't say anything about it on Twitter. But I wasn't happy. I'll be honest with you guys. I wasn't happy. Geeks and gamers, Jeremy Griggs is a piece of shit. He's an absolute piece of shit. He knows he's a piece of shit. He's a liar. He's a grifter. He's a pontificator of false information, a purveyor of fake news, and very much a bigoted individual. Zach, who props up strong female characters in a way that Joss Whedon only did on surface levels, teamed up with a group of people that have spent years denigrating Brie Larson, denigrating Kathleen Kennedy, denigrating anyone who doesn't have their political belief, denigrating anyone who doesn't believe what they believe, because they don't even believe what they believe, but they follow the money. And him working with them was I know they made a lot of money for charity, which is good. But I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. And I saw so many fucking people yesterday that were just looking the other way, that privately they've said to me how much they dislike the grifters and the liars in the Snyder Cut movement, that privately they've shared discontent with me over people that that are more prominent and some of the more things that they have done, but they won't say anything. But, here's Zach teaming up with the Geeks and Gamers and those guys who are just outright outbound pieces of shit. And they're like, well, if Zach says it's cool, then it's cool. It's like, no, come on. The conviction levels of some of these people is one of the reasons why I just want March 18th to get here and be done and over with, to be honest with you. As excited as I am to see the movie, I just want to see it and be done with it at this point. That's where I'm at with it, So there's that. All right. Andrew here says they cast. It's not. I have to correct this. It's not they casted Evan Peters. Casted is not a word. It's cast. C-A-S-T. I know people say cast. They say casted. It's like runded. It's not a word. It's just cast. They cast Evan Peters for a reason, just to make him troll, boner joke. Don't pin this one on us. No. They made the boner joke. Which was really funny. People again got their hopes up for what he might be, and they trolled you really well with it. But the thing is, in episode 6, when he was discussing with Wanda in the town square during the Halloween episode, that tied into dialogue from Agatha in the next couple episodes. You start to see exactly what the point of that scene was. So it opens itself up. So it's the way that they did things was pretty fantastic. Agatha had knowledge of who Wanda was and who the Avengers were. Remember, again, in that same episode, when he wakes up Agatha, when Vision does, and she's like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, right? And she's screaming it at him. She has knowledge of who these people are, because Wanda is not some unknown person. She's a fucking Avenger. Everyone knows her. So it's not, again, there's like the people, I think people, they got their hopes up on a lot of things. And no, it wasn't The Mandalorian. But at the same time, it gave us something that was still pretty good. All right, let's see here. Okay. Music Man says, I was a bit disappointed, but after thinking about and watching your review, I love the ending of the show as a whole. Also didn't know Zach teamed with Geeks and Gamers. Yeah, that was a last night thing. That was a yesterday thing. So yeah, that happened yesterday. I just didn't say anything about it. I wasn't just going to get involved. So there's that. Anyway. So, okay. Andrew here says, so DC will be the only one with multiverse. MCU will never do it, so Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield won't be in Spider-Man 3. Well, but the thing is though, dude, like, you don't know if that's the case or not. We know they're doing the multiverse of madness, but again, Andrew, like I made the joke on Nicotina's show the other night, you have got so much of you wrapped up in this particular reveal, and all you care about is Tobey, and I get that, but that's all you've got. You've just got you are wrapped up in all this, and ultimately, you should brace yourself for disappointment. It could still happen. I don't know. But you should really brace yourself to not expect it to happen. Because if you go into that movie with that expectation, and that expectation is not met because you have put it on such a pedestal that it cannot be met, then you're going to find yourself fundamentally disappointed with the project. And that may not be the case when you watch it down the road. Just modify your expectations. So that's what you have to do. And additionally, the same thing goes for the Snyder Cut. I have to reiterate this point, guys. I have to reiterate this point. It's entirely possible that the Snyder Cut will be something that ends up maybe not being everything you expect it to be. Although it's entirely possible that I could be wrong on that front. And I'll explain that here in a second. So yesterday I happened to be out doing my my deliveries like I do because that's my job. And when, this shit doesn't pay. And so I was surfing Twitter and I saw something that I thought was really interesting. And I have to DM it to myself essentially. Okay. So there we go on that one. Okay. So let me just bring this up here on Twitter before I screwed up. All things considered here, what we have is Sean O'Connell, right? Now, Sean O'Connell was on Twitter last night, and he made a really odd kind of comment. And the odd comment has more to do with the Snyder Cut, because he very quickly deleted the comment, right? He very, very, very quickly deleted this thing. And I find that to be interesting. Actually, oh god damn, it's stupid Twitter. It saved it in the large format, so I have to go and alter the file. So let me just bring that up here. With my okay. This is why I hate Twitter, when they're like, hey, we don't want to actually do this thing the right way. We want to save it as a Twitter large file, which then means you have to go in and alter the extension on your on your computer. And my computer's taking its time. But anyway, okay. I'm just saying, let me just go back to here. All right. Where is that at? Son of a bitch. Where is that at? There we go. Okay. Yes, I want to alter this. All right. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let me just double check that there's no private information in this thing. No, we're good. Okay, so I was able to grab a screenshot of this before. So this is Sean O'Connell, right? Him last night at 7:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I was watching Max and Brian talking. He says, "Hallelujah over the credits, and I'm a fucking mess. It is everything, everything. You have no idea. I love you all." And he immediately deleted it. And then didn't mention it again. So I have a feeling he ended up seeing the Snyder Cut. Now, there have been people at Cinema Blend who have gotten links this week to watch it. So there's a lot of people who got invited into the premiere. And a lot of people got invited into the premiere for it. I haven't, which sucks, I'll be honest with you, but I'm not like gonna freak out over it, nothing like that. I'll wait till the 18th. That's not a problem. It's only 11 more days. But, there was one of the other guys that's on the Cinema Blend podcast that Sean's on, openly admitted to getting a review code of it. And the review code website has gone live. So there are people, I guarantee you at this point, Grace Randolph has seen it. Probably Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman have seen it. A lot of other people have seen it, but they're not telling you about it because they're going to wait until obviously there's an embargo, because there's probably a huge ass embargo on it. And I'm pretty sure that's why Sean deleted that particular tweet. So a lot of people have probably already seen it. You're going to start getting stuff here pretty soon. And, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Okay. So let's see. Have I seen Coming to America 2 yet? It was really dumb for Paramount to have sold it to Amazon instead of putting it on Paramount Plus. Well, it's entirely possible, Alvy, that the deal was made for Coming to America 2 before Paramount Plus was a thing. And let me explain. So, it takes a while for these movies to come together, oftentimes a couple years. And, this was also coming off of Dolomite, My Name Is on Netflix, which was a great film. And it's the same team. So they probably sold it, because Paramount was working deals with Netflix. They're working deals with other people because at the time, Paramount was a separate company. So it wasn't only until last year that Viacom folded Paramount back into its parent company. Rather than being a vertical to CBS, they're now Viacom CBS, and it's all under one roof, which is what brought the Star Trek rights back under the banner of Viacom and CBS, really CBS, which is where they were at. So in this particular case, Paramount sold the rights for Coming to America to Amazon. And this is probably before Paramount Plus was even something that was really on the horizon. Because if you think about it, all they did is they took CBS All Access and they just rebranded it as Paramount Plus and added a whole bunch of content. So That's the whole way you have to look at it. Is in reality, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, it wasn't that big of a thing. They just, that's what they did. And I agree with you. They should have put it on there, and it's entirely possible that maybe one day it will end up on there, but I need to watch it. I need to definitely watch it. So, although Saki Balasak here says Coming to America was so bad. I've heard that. I know Angry Joe did like an hour-long review of it, ranting about it. I haven't watched it yet. I need to sit down and I'm probably going to watch it tonight because I need to do that. I've watched Raya like fucking 5 times now because my kids, but that's pretty good. I do want to see it though. That's the thing. I do really want to see it. Now Meladen here makes an interesting point about going back to the WandaVision stuff here. And there's been comments that I've seen left on my videos where people were talking about how they were upset that the actors lied. And I'm like, but the actors never tell you the truth in these interviews. These interviews are pointless, right? Like these interviews, literally, legitimately, these interviews with the actors, these promotional interviews are some of the stupidest, dumb things you could ever do. They are, because they don't, because you'll have people go like, so in this movie, it's reported that this person's going to play this thing. What can you tell me about it? And they're like, I don't know. Tee hee 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 hee. You're just gonna have to wait and see. Hee hee hee. Okay, I have to go now. Okay, thanks. Bye. And that's what they do. And it's literally the same thing. They get talking points. Have you guys ever seen the Tom Hanks Toy Story 4 talking points? He did here, I'll bring up this article and whatever, right? Like, I don't want to bring up the whole video. It's like a 10-minute clip, but it's very much like, this is what happened back during the Toy Story 4, press tour, where Tom Hanks was on, went out on Jimmy Kimmel and brings out like pages. He's got 2 pages here of talking points to bring out. This is what Disney PR gave to Tom Hanks in order to keep him on track, and the talking points that the PR company, the PR division, put together for the movie. So all of these people who do this, right, they always lie to you. They're always lying to you because they're under contract to not tell you the truth. They're under contract to not give away any spoilers. And yeah, it's true. Kira's right here. It's all like, a lot of these people just get softball questions, 100%, right? 100%. And then Music Man here says it is very stupid. A lot of these interviews really are just, they're dumb. And it's entirely like that. You know what I mean? It's entirely a thing where you've got the companies are going to put together these talking points. Those talking points are then sent ahead to the talk show, right? The show that they're going to go on. Let's say it's Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Conan O'Brien, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, whatever. And the production team will then put together notes based upon the talking points that the studio or the company sends over and on some of their own research. So they have those little cards with the talking points on them that they go back and forth over, and it's all manufactured. I can't stand watching most celebrity interviews at all because it's so fake. It's so manufactured. But when it's an actual conversation, like on NPR with, like, let's say Terry Gross, for Fresh Air, those are fascinating because those are not like your standard PR shit. Yeah, they're not going to tell you everything, but they have time to go into depth on like some of the production history and some of the stories from on set and maybe what their character motivations were. If you go and you watch these 5-minute brief interviews where you go and you see the same actor on this on different shows all on the same day, because let's say they fly to New York and they tape 5 different interviews in the span of a day, then of course it's like they just keep saying the same thing. It's all pointless. But but that's what they tell us. It's really ridiculous. Yeah, because Meladen here says it's Hollywood, everyone lies. It's very true. That's very true. The Power Bunny here asks, do you think Doctor Strange was originally supposed to cameo in WandaVision, but they cut it due to the pandemic? No, I don't. Because they had months and months and months. If you listen, I'm pimping myself here a little bit. If you listen to the PODIO commentary on WandaVision, I talk a little bit about the production and how it halted from March of 2020 to September of 2020, and it moved from Atlanta back to Los Angeles where they were able to finish it up. So they had plenty of time to get it. And if they wanted, and then also Elizabeth Olsen went immediately from LA to London to start working on the movie. So if they needed to shoot something with the two of them, they were already filming Doctor Strange before WandaVision premiered. So they would have easily been able to get anything that they needed, a pickup shot, and send it back over. And I say this because for the nightmare scene in Justice League that's coming out, the Flash, Ezra Miller was shooting Fantastic Beasts 3 in Europe, and Zach had to remote in order to get him to shoot certain things and direct him remotely from Los Angeles because of the pandemic and because he was already on another movie set. So it's not hard. They could easily do it. They didn't. So no, I don't believe that Doctor Strange was ever an actual cameo. I just don't think so. I just think that's something people like got in their head. Ballsack69, $6 super chat, no message, but I'm just going to say your full name. Tom Hanks, Ballsack69, he, but now he's known as Saggy Ballsack. Also, rebranding. There we go. Jarbo, say Mladen likes Aladdin 5 times. Mladen likes Aladdin, Mladen likes Aladdin, Mladen likes Aladdin, Mladen likes Aladdin, Mladen likes Aladdin. That was 5. Thank you. Thank you. BT here says Elizabeth Olsen looking hot as hell in that new costume. Dude, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Let's see, let's see. I have no idea why they telegraphed the aerospace engineer. They teased it like 3 times. They said, what was it? Monica Rambeau says, I have a friend who's an aerospace engineer. And then that was it. That's the only time they said an aerospace engineer. And that she did say, my friend's on the outskirts of town. My friend, we got to get to my friend. They'll be here in an hour. Yeah, that was a bit of a tease, but they only said aerospace engineer 1 time. And I kept fucking it up. I kept saying aeronautical engineer, like no one corrected me. So now I just feel dumb for getting it wrong. But no, they only said that 1 time. Well, Andrew, at least you admit you have a bias towards him. And I can't blame you for that, man. I can't blame you for that at all. You said you have a bias. I understand you have a bias. I get it. It's absolutely fine. It's all good, dude. It's all good. I just want you to be ready for something to maybe not happen. You know what I mean? You have to just handle disappointment well. All right. Skywalker Brian asks, is Bruce Campbell trolling or being cryptic for being in Doctor Strange 2 since he tweeted that image of being in London? No, he's not trolling or being cryptic. Like, I mean, it's a light troll. It's a light troll, but I mean, if you know anything about Bruce Campbell, he appears in every single one of Sam Raimi's movies. So it's, it's not, and he was in all 3 Spider-Man movies, and he was in all that stuff, right? So it's like, it's not a big deal. I don't understand why people are freaking out over this. I really don't get it. Where like they're asking those questions. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand it. Like, why is this happening? All right, let me bring this up here. This is the tweet that he brought up in question here. So he says that boy, it was a blast working in a certain city with a certain director on a certain movie with a certain actor. It sure was. Yeah, it's a light. I guess you could call it like a troll, but it's a beautiful morning shot of London. It's a great shot. I love that the London Eye is right back there. You can see that and everything else. And so you already know who it is. Like, you already know what's going on here. So it's not like it's that big of a deal, right? Like it's just a fun little, because Marvel has that, that social media lockdown. So he's playing with everybody, but it's definitely him having a good time. So there's that. Also, we got a new member here, the Power Bunny. Thank you very much. I need to start doing what Enosh is doing and like give away DVDs, man, or movies. I got a bunch here I could probably give away. Hopefully if Podio commentary does well, they start sending me shit so I can give away some movies. That's the goal, though, to give you guys free stuff. Yeah, it's like the potato chip joke. That's right. It is. So we'll have to see. I just find it really funny. Andrew here asked the question. I'm curious, Jarbo, when did you decide to become the voice of reason telling the truth? Whew. Well, I mean, I have some history of fibbing on a couple things a couple years ago, but I'll tell you this, though. And actually, maybe that made me a bit more of the rough exterior kind of dickhead I can be. So let me explain. I don't like false information. I just don't. Okay. You can be critical. You can be critical of me all you want. I don't care. What I dislike is when it's bad information, when it's not honest criticism. So if you want to criticize a take I have, by all means, use my take and criticize it. I'm cool with that. But when you start manufacturing certain things or proclaiming certain things, then I have an issue with that. When it comes to movie news, being a person who talks about movie news. So I'll give you an example. So let's say, okay, I've gotten phone calls out of the blue from friends of mine, particularly one friend of mine who is a huge Star Wars nerd, but is not an internet guy. He's just not an internet guy. So he'll call me up and he'll be like, dude, what's this I hear about like Solo sucking? Right. And this is a month before Solo comes out. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's all like, I hear it sucks. And I'm like, who told you it sucks? He's like, well, that's what I read. And I'm like, where'd you read it? He's like, internet. And I'm like, okay, but did the person see the movie? He's like, no. He's like, I don't think so. They just said that they heard that it sucks. And I'm like, okay, so then you're asking me if I've heard if Solo sucks. Well, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't tell you that it sucks. Right. But he's done the same kind of thing with other Star Wars related content and stuff that has gone back to Doomcock. And I'll tell you another reason why it pisses me off too. So right before the Rise of Skywalker, and this is more, I have a beef with Doomcock and Geeks and Gamers if you guys really want to know why I don't like them. Doomcock put out this video where he was all like, oh, my inside sources tell me that there was that there was test screenings and that they were terrible. Right? Talking about all that shit. And then a friend of mine, Louis Lecca, well, he was a friend of mine at the time. He's not one anymore, unfortunately. So Louis Lecca from Nuke the Fridge Nerd Report, okay, who actually goes to these press junkets and these screenings and whatever, he reaches out to Bad Robot. And he's like, hey, what's going on? You know, like he's like, people are running their mouths. People are like, the Fandom Menace is running their mouth. The Fandom Menace is lying about these test screenings. Can you confirm or deny? Right? Can you come out and say something because they're creating a false narrative, which is a fair point to make to this company, where once these false narratives take on a life of their own, so many people like my friend who is not an internet guy is going to take it and he's going to run with it and he's going to believe it, because why wouldn't he believe it? You know what I mean? Like, people aren't going to look into this because it doesn't impact their day-to-day life. So they're just going to believe what they hear because it's easier than taking the couple minutes to go and actually look. So in that particular regard, this is when like he got confirmation from Bad Robot that there were no test screenings. And so the test scores were ridiculous. I asked David Sandberg about them too, the director of Shazam, about test screenings. And he's like, no, they just like, they happen, but they're, in many cases, these things don't, like they're not that big of a deal. Jason Ward from Making Star Wars, who actually has inside sources, I asked him about it and he's like, no, they've never done test screenings for any Star Wars movie. Now, there's a difference in between internal test screening and test screening. What Doomcock was saying wasn't an internal test screening. It wasn't an internal viewing with the producers and with the crew and with the people. What he's talking about are bringing in groups of people to watch different cuts of the movies, the different test screenings, in order to get an idea for what is going to be the most economically viable and the most audience pleasing, which is the whole point of a test screening. But anyway, no, they never happened for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, not the way that they were being presented by Doomcock and the Fandom Menace, who were in full anti-Rise of Skywalker mode at that time because it was profitable. So then Louis Lecca writes a report about it. Okay, he writes a report about it and debunks it on his website. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers covers that report, and during his coverage, he calls Louis, who is a Cubano-American living in Los Angeles, he calls him an anti-white racist during this video. So just in order to protect Doomcock and to protect the Fandom Menace and the lies that these people fucking spread, he legitimately calls a conservative Cubano-American, because Louis is conservative, an anti-white racist, because he debunked some bullshit that fucking Doomcock was spewing. That is why I have an issue, because that kind of stuff doesn't get fucking fact-checked. Period, by anyone, because for some reason they do not want to say it. Now, it makes sense that these companies don't want to say anything, because then it gives credibility. Like when J.J. Abrams in an interview with, I believe, ABC had mentioned the Phantom Menace in the lead up to The Rise of Skywalker, which what did that do? It validated the Phantom Menace because JJ wasn't denouncing them as being the idiots that they are and the grifters and liars and profiteers and carpetbaggers that they are. What he did is he was like, well, there's a group out there that doesn't like this called the Phantom Menace. So he validated their existence, which then only gave them fuel for the fire, very similar to this whole situation with Gina Carano. That is why I do not like this kind of bad faith acting that we get in this sphere. But the problem, though, and I'll openly admit this, is it makes me angry. And I don't want to be angry when talking about things that I love. So it is very much something where I'm like, I have to get the fuck away from that because otherwise it just makes me not give a shit. But I still want to be factual in my reporting. And that becomes the bigger problem. Is when you go to Google News and Google News is full of "we got this covered" and giant freaking robot and bleeding fool and bounding into comics and cosmic book news, where they just run all of these clickbait, horrible, terrible headlines that have no basis in reality, but they run them under the premise of being a rumor that it ends up being this situation where you go, oh, fuck. Like, because people read this and they fucking believe it. And you can sit there and you can use that defense of, well, they just say that it's a rumor and take it with a grain of salt. Fuck that nonsense. You know for a fact that shit's being believed by people. You know for a fact it's fake fucking news, but you still say it because you know what? It fills your fucking coffers and it makes your fucking pee-pee hard. Anyway, there we go. Sorry. That was a long rant, but there you go. There's the truth. All right, there we go. I need to get something to drink on this one. All right, I have some other stuff I want to talk about here. Other things I've grabbed. All right. So let me dive into to this one here. All right. What else did I get here? Oh, hold on, let me find my thing. All right, so there's the Lola Bunny situation. This has been happening the last couple of days. I talked about this last night on Boulder Talk Radio a bit. But a lot of people have been asking my opinion on the whole Lola Bunny debate. Like, oh my God, are they canceling Lola Bunny? Are they trying to cut out the sexualized Lola Bunny from 1996 Space Jam? Except here's the thing. The image on the left there that people are using is like, oh man, remember when Lola Bunny was hot? Remember when you could easily just like find yourself in a position where you're like, yeah, right? That's not an actual image of Lola Bunny. That's from the movie. That's something that is, I mean, she definitely had like the play at the time of being kind of, more, I don't want to say sultry, but she definitely wasn't like that. She definitely wasn't that kind of drawn that particular way. But a lot of people out there really, really, really wanted to play that up because they think that, reject femininity, embrace modernity, or whatever the hell the term is. But this is what she looked like in the movie. And that's way toned down. That's way toned down from that, right? That's super toned down. Like, I mean, for one, she doesn't have those legs, and that thin of a stomach. And well, she actually does have that thin of a stomach, but it's a completely like more appropriate approach to the character in this movie versus what we see here. And so I mean, granted, the redesign makes her look a bit more like a 30-year-old wine ant versus this. But then again, it's also been 25 years and who knows what's happened to her life since then. I have no idea. But in all things considered, the Lola Bunny debate is ridiculous. I don't care about Space Jam 2. I don't care about Space Jam 2 at all. Right? I mean, hold on. Bat-Dan here. Why would people sexualize a fucking animal anyway? That's just sick. You know what, Bat-Dan? I'm gonna highly recommend you never go looking around the internet. I'm gonna really recommend that you don't do that. Okay. There's elements of the internet that you may not want to go look at. There's elements of the internet that if you think this is bad, you know what? I can't show you, I can't show you anything from, hold on. You know what? I will. All right. I will. I'll show you something. I'll find something that is appropriate for work. Okay, that might be still in the same vein. That's appropriate. Okay, here we go. This one's appropriate. All right, this one. But again, if I don't know how much time you spend on the internet. Maybe you shouldn't spend as much time as, unfortunately, someone like me who has been around the net for a long time. But okay, so this is a furry drawn image, a Sarah Foxy Tails. Okay, I don't know who or what this character is. But this is part of the whole furry fandom where they take an anthropomorphic, I'm mispronounced that entirely. But they take this, an animal, in this case, a cat, and they draw it to be, human form and then also very, and they make it as sexy as humanly possible. And a lot of people, to be honest, a lot of people get off on this kind of stuff. There's a lot of people out there who like this kind of thing. I mean, take this one, for example, again, you know what? They're drawing a cat person, a cat lady at a strip club. And, this is, something that exists in the realm of the internet, and it's a very weird place to be. So the Lola Bunny situation, while not as exotic and sexualized as the other image, is still drawn to be very similar to that. They very much were trying to make something. And there are people out there who get off on that one here. Saggy Ballsack says, I'm 34 years old. How dare they mess with my childhood? Yeah, well, there's that. And then Power Bunny here says the dark side of Zootopia. You know what? Zootopia in my mind is a great movie, because I love the fact that they actually play up the darker elements of life in a big city. When they go to the nudist colony and all the animals are naked, and they actually show an elephant doing yoga and spread eagle and all that stuff, but they have no genitalia. So it's just a smooth thing, but it's still, it's there, it's crazy. Now I will to give him yeah. Okay. You know what? Yeah, man, I get you. I'm with you on that one. 100% about Halle Berry, in the Catwoman costume. That's, one of the only redeeming factors of the movie. If you want to say that there's any kind of redeeming factors of that movie, it of course would be, something like this, that costume, which, look, I'm saying it looks good on her, but also it's been 14 years, I think. Oh no, it's been 18 years since this movie came out. It's still pretty terrible, and I would rather never think of this ever again because of how bad it is. So there's that to consider. But yeah, there we have it on that one. Okay, was it Ryan here says, I guess you can argue ancient Egyptians were furries too. Probably. Yeah. The Power Bunny says invincible until her costume gets caught in a door handle. Oh yeah. Oh my God. What are those jeans where back in the day, you could get these, it was a thing in the 90s, this was pretty big back in the day, where you could actually spend $80 to $100 and you get your hands on one of these jeans, right? These jeans, for some reason, it was a WebMP. God damn it. These cut up jeans and shit, I'm just going to bring it over into that. Okay. But yeah, look, here's the thing. You get these jeans right here where, people paid good money for these until they get caught in a door handle and they get torn. It's just a fashion element of look at this right here. She literally paid money to buy a pair of jeans that is just when you sit down in them, your ass is going to feel whatever the hell it is you're sitting on. But those are Goddess Gang Boutique. They're $30 for that pair of jeans. You could buy a pair of jeans. Look at this one here. You could buy a pair of jeans for $5 from the thrift store and then just cut them yourself. But no, it's got to get cut up holes, denim jeans and stuff like that. That's just what people do. It's ridiculous. That of course is your history lesson for today. Michelle Alexandria, sorry. $3 super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let's see. I should Google Lola Bunny Looney Tunes show where they redesign Lola and Kristen Wiig voices her. You know what? I saw that on HBO Max and it kind of disturbed me, to be honest with you. I didn't like it. I also didn't spend a lot of time with it. I felt like they made Lola Bunny straight up thirsty for like Bugs's penis. It was very weird, very desperate character design on that one. So, all right, let me take a look here. What else I've got to bring up? Right. Oh yeah. So the big one is, this is kind of funny. We've got this High Republic thing where you've got a character named Geode who is just a rock. And I've seen a lot of people jumping on Star Wars about that one. I've seen a lot of people going off about that. And I think it's pretty funny, to be honest with you. I have no issue with it. Because like there's, it's Star Wars. There's different characters for literally everything. But a lot of people out there were apparently like, trying to run with it as more of a joke. But it's true. They made a BOULDER character for Star Wars. It's nice to see that my alter ego is making it into the galaxy far, far away as being. And if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to tell you. But so that exists. I thought that was pretty funny. And then also, this is something that popped up today. Vishawn, right? Where they put Vision. They dressed him like it looks like The Rock from back in the day. And a lot of people have been playing with this meme a little bit. This has been pretty funny. I enjoyed this quite a bit. So that was pretty good. So I like that one. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up today, really, and I should have probably brought it up at the beginning, and that's why it's on the thumbnail, is this petition for Jack Sparrow, for Johnny Depp's return to Pirates of the Caribbean. According to MovieWeb, they're looking here. Pirate 6 petition for the return of Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow has reached its goal. More than 500,000 people have signed the petition for Disney to bring back Johnny Depp for another Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which is fantastic. So a fan petition on change.org calling for Disney to bring back Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow has surpassed its initial goal of 500,000 signatures, and a new goal has been set to reach 1 million. That's great. That's great. Now it's all for the justice for Johnny Depp campaign, which I'm really hoping does well. I'm hoping they bring him back, because right now they got a situation where it's it's like Margot Robbie, right? It's Margot Robbie and Christina Hodson that are working on that. So so there was a little thing here that popped up a few months ago that I missed, but it's kind of in relation to this. Margot Robbie here is saying that time will tell. So, she seemingly confirms some of the casting rumors. All right. I don't quite know, she says here, okay. This is talking about whether or not she's going to join the franchise. I'm sorry. I got it confused. But like, the thing is, you gotta have Captain Jack in Pirates of the Caribbean. Right. There's just no way around it. Like, you have to have Captain Jack. It's 100%. Now, Ryan here says the franchise has run its course, and I don't disagree. However, the overall idea here, though, is that, like, if they're going to reboot it, you have to have at least him passing the torch, I think. Because a reboot is kind of pointless, but a continuation is something they could do. And have him pass the torch, and that would be fine. But the thing is, like, that 500,000 person petition is great, but what they got to do is they got to show Disney that people are going to that this is a movement that's got some teeth. And part of that is going to have to be, hey, let's go and, you guys are going to have to go and watch like all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies on Disney Plus, get those numbers up, get those numbers up to what people are watching. Like, let me take a look here. If I can log into my Disney Plus account real quick. I think there is okay, they're increasing the price. Let's see. All right. I thought there was okay. Yeah, we'll bring this up real quick here. If I recall, and it is right here, so it's not that I recall it. It is here. Okay. So on here, right, on Disney Plus, you can see they've got like all sorts of things, right? But they got trending right down here where you've got WandaVision #1, Flora and Ulysses, which actually looks kind of cute. Moana, Clubhouse, right? So it's like, and The Simpsons is usually up there. Mando, Book of Life, right? Avengers. Pirates of the Caribbean, if you really want to showcase this, Pirates of the Caribbean has got to be here. And I'm talking like not just the first one, all damn 5. You got 5 slots on this front page, 5 slots on the front one right here. It should be Pirates 1, Pirates 2, Pirates 3, Pirates 4, Pirates 5, right there. All 5. And I say this because this is what people are going to see when they log in. Now, granted, the trending tab could be curated as a way to drive traffic to a specific property, but if it's not, and it's an aggregate based upon actual view numbers, which we won't ever know if that's the case because they're never going to tell us. You got to put Pirates of the Caribbean right there and have Johnny Depp's face front and center, and to show that that is a valuable asset to the Disney Plus user base, and more people will see it as a result of this. You know what I mean? So like, let's see, do they have they should have all 5 pirates here, right? So they've got pirates they got all 5, right? Well, no, they got 4. They got 1, they got 2, they got 3, they got 5? Where's 4? Okay. Well, I mean, 4 really wasn't the greatest one in the world, but at least you got 4 of the 5 movies that are here. And that could be, that could be a thing. So that's what they should do. They should really do that. They should definitely make that what they go for and push for that. Because if you push for that, then people are going to take a look at it. People are at that point going to stop and go, oh, why is Pirates of the Caribbean trending on Disney Plus? Then you'll get people writing articles about it because you could go, oh, the Justice for Johnny movement is showcasing to Disney that Johnny Depp is a viable asset. I've seen articles pop up recently that are talking about removing Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean, the ride, because of everything that's going on. So they really want to cancel Johnny Depp here. And the only way to uncancel Johnny Depp in this particular way is to very much showcase his financial viability to the company, and that's a big part of it. That's a big part of it. So that's what people are going to have to do. All right. Let's see here. Skywalker Brian says, Verbinski revisited the BioShock movie in an interview. Oh, yeah. I have that article saved. I need to look into it. I was going to probably do a PODIO commentary on it, at least based upon what I could get my hands on. It would be a short episode, but it would be interesting nonetheless. $200 million price tag and be rated R. They should still do it. Who has the rights to it right now? Who has the BioShock rights? Who has that? Let's see here. Sony apparently has it. No. At this point, Universal has it. Okay, cool. So Universal right now has the film rights to BioShock. They should totally do it. The Power Bunnies here says if they cancel Johnny Depp, they should cancel Amber Heard. Yeah, well, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. And I agree with you, but it doesn't work that way. You cannot demand equal. In this particular situation, you can't demand equality. You're not going to get it. So you got to find another way. You got to make sure that they understand, because they know deep down that Johnny Depp is good for their business. They know this. But at the same time, that's what they have to be with it. So, all right, guys, we're hitting 2 p.m. right now. I've been on for almost an hour. We'll take a couple more quick questions here, and then I'm probably going to wrap it up because my voice is starting to go and I got to get my kids up from their nap. But this is fun just to kind of hang out and BS about stuff. Probably just going to do more of these where we just talk about what's going on and I just find stuff that's interesting. And I'm so looking forward to the Snyder Cut being over with. I love it. I want to see it, but my God, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And that's a good thing. More people are going to see it that way. Hopefully it will happen. But okay, let's take a look. Okay. Hold on here. But are asking for too much video games. Who's asking for too much video games adaptations? What do you mean too much video games adaptations? You're going to have to explain that one to me, buddy. Geek Studios here says, I'm a huge Johnny Depp fan. I don't want him to be canceled. The thing is, man, look, someone like Johnny Depp is never going to get truly canceled. You know what I mean? It's he'll find work. He'll go back to the smaller screen and he'll do more independent things, and they'll get all he needs is something to come out and be this a breakout hit. And then he's back on his A game again. That's how Hollywood works. You never truly fail. You just have to go away for a while and kind of let people forget and then come back. And then when he comes back, there's going to be articles. But at the same time, he's got such a solid, fan base that it's not really going to matter. Like even my stepmom, is a huge Pirates of the Caribbean, huge Johnny Depp fan. I told her they're rebooting Pirates without Johnny Depp, and she's like, I'm not going to watch it. You know? And there's going to be legions and legions and legions of people who've spent the last 18 years loving this character in this franchise that are going to ignore this movie, this reboot, without him in it because they're like, no, man, no, screw that. You know? Now, granted, it is up to Disney to figure out a way to revitalize the franchise because the last couple entries have not been very good. And, you know, so they got to figure all that out. So there is a process that needs to be done for the studio to tell a better story than anything else. Okay, so Brian here says, like for movies or TV shows being adapted since the tech before wasn't advanced like today. Yeah, I mean, BioShock, they could shoot BioShock in like the volume, you know, and the stagecraft tech like Mando uses, and it would be wonderful. I mean, just think about that for a second, right? Where they craft, because the volume technology uses, I believe, the Unreal 4 engine in regards to its processing. So if they were to take that and they were, because now we're going to be getting the Unreal 5 engine. If they take that and they upgrade that, imagine BioShock and the visual effects of being underwater and like the natural lighting from all of that. And they were able to, you know, create a space where you could just, you know, flip around the environment and go to a whole new scene, like the tunnel sequences going from biome to biome. It'd be easy to do. And that's the whole thing, is like Mandalorian is going to do great. The technology there is going to do great for pushing this kind of stuff forward. So, and that will considerably shrink the budget. The thing is, though, is that these studios need to realize that the money is going to come in through streaming and that people want to see these adaptations actually be handled well. And that's not going to be a movie. BioShock should not be a movie. BioShock should be a series. You know? Or treat it like the Snyder Cut, where it's a 4-hour fucking movie, but it's an experience nonetheless. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Do I think that Wanda's costume is reminiscent of Magneto's in the prequels? Yeah, man. Yeah, I saw that image, and it really did look a lot like they really did. They did a fair amount with that one. And, I mean, it looks good. You know, let me bring it up here. I have it saved. They've done a good job with that. Really. I love the costume here, and I really want to see what they do going forward. Cause I mean, this is it, you know, those look very similar. And, I mean, honest to God, I don't think I've ever seen Elizabeth Olsen look hotter. And she just looks really good in that right there. And then Magneto, you know, Michael Fassbender looks amazing as well. You know, so no, I think it's going to be pretty good. I like him quite a bit. All right. Let's see. Is Tron 3 National Treasure 3 happening at Disney? Yes, I believe. I think Jared Leto is working on a Tron reboot or something. And National Treasure 3 is getting not only a movie, but a television show. Yeah, it's a TV show and a movie. It's really weird. That's crazy in that one. Rapture or Columbia? Oh, dude, Rapture, man. I didn't like BioShock 3 or BioShock Infinite. I didn't care for it, but give me Rapture, dude. Rapture was fucking like sick. Columbia got a little bit boring after a while, just because it was like not the best game. And by that point in time, Ken Levine had his head up his ass, and the game came across as pretentious as fuck. What's next week's Podio commentary about? That's one. Right now, I'm looking at Man of Steel for that one. So what I want to do is I want to tackle Man of Steel, BVS, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. The Zack Snyder's Justice League one is going to be, I'm going to overview it. Okay. I'm going to overview that one based upon what I know. And that one's going to be tough because like, I'm probably going to get a couple things wrong, and I'm going to try not to. Like, I'll be sending off the script to people I know who are really who are into it, to make sure like my dates are lined up. But I'm not looking to do it. You know, I'm not looking to rag on Justice League. You know what I mean? Like, I'll talk about clearly the reshoots and the problem and what Ray Fisher have said. I'll bring those up. But like, I don't want to focus specifically on that. I kind of want to do like, it's going to be like a general overview. To be honest with you, I'm actually kind of afraid to do that one. I want to do it, but I'm kind of afraid to do it because I know if I get something wrong, and I'm going to try not to, but if I get something wrong, like, fuck, dude, people are going to freak out. Like the other day I was talking about, do I want Snyder, do I want Justice League 2 and 3? And I said, I mixed up in my mind. I just watched The Croods, A New Age. And the character Dawn is not, so I said Dawn in reference to Autumn. And I meant to say Autumn, but I screwed up and I said Dawn. It was a slip. It happens. And then people in the comments were like, "Oh, he's a fake Snyder bro. He's a fake Snyder fan because he got a name wrong." And it's like, fuck you, pieces of shit. I've been was it November 24th, 2017 is when I first did a video about the Snyder Cut. All right. So I've been in this shit, as long as practically anyone else, talking about this stuff when it popped up, maybe not as fervently as other people, but I definitely brought it up quite often and expressed my support, but I get a name wrong, and it's an honest mistake. People are just dicks. So there's that. All right. Batman v Superman or Civil War. I mean, as far as a film goes, like, I think Batman v Superman is a better movie, but I do really love Civil War. You gave me Giant Man, okay? And Spider-Man in a fight scene. I don't care. I don't care about like any of the other criticisms about that movie. You gave me Giant Man and Spider-Man and Empire Strikes Back jokes, and it was perfect in my mind. But I loved Batman v Superman just from a tonal perspective. You know what I mean? Like from a tonal perspective, I liked it. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to go, but thank you to everyone who donated via Super Chats. Thank you to everyone with the super stickers. And, of course, the new member. That was pretty great. I appreciate that, everybody. I'll probably, just pop these on. I'm hoping more frequently just to kind of come on and talk with you guys. I don't really want to, like, prep any shit, but we'll see where it goes. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day. I'll talk to you all later, and peace the hell out.